Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Data Science Jellyfish. I am Jelly, and today I'm going to take you through our fifth video in the Tableau for Beginners series, and it's going to be all about parameters. Now, if you've missed our first four videos, I highly recommend that you go back and watch those if you're just getting started with Tableau. In the meantime, for this demonstration on how to use parameters, I'm going to be using Tableau Desktop in the sample Superstore dataset. You definitely can use Tableau Online as well. Both Tableau Desktop and Tableau Online have access to this sample data. It comes with Tableau. And as always, we can click down in the bottom to our data source and actually look at what's in our data, which I always recommend that you do. We have an orders, people, and returns table. And down below, we see a preview of the orders table. And we're really going to focus on the orders table in this tutorial. So I can create a sheet in Tableau Desktop by adding this plus button below. I have a sheet created called Sheet 2. And now let's talk about why parameters are so useful in Tableau and why we may want to utilize them. So say, for instance, I want to make a visual of region versus profit, okay? And then I want to show labels here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the label here and click show marked labels so I can get the actual value without hovering. And I'm like, wait, okay, this is awesome. I have region and I have the profit for each region. Great. Now, what if I wanted sales? I can easily drag off profit and drag on sales to my rows pane. Or I could go down here, create a new sheet, region, and then sales, so that I can have two bar charts. But that might not be the most efficient way to do it, right? I shouldn't have to make two separate sheets if I want the same visual, and the only thing that I want to do is change up the measure, profit versus sales. So a way that I can do that so that I can update the same visual between two measures is a parameter. I can update visuals using dimensions as well if I didn't want to utilize region and I want to see this by state, etc. Okay? So we're going to create a parameter so that we're able to dynamically update this bar chart with a click of a button between profit and sales. And that's going to be beneficial for us when we actually add this sheet to a dashboard. So let's go ahead and get started. So under my data pane, I'm going to click down this left black arrow and I'm going to do create parameter. And I'm going to call this profit versus sales. And I'm going to choose string and I'm going to hit list. And so in this list, I want to type the two values that I want my parameter to have. I want it to have profit, and then I want it to have sales. And I'm going to hit OK. So now I've created this parameter. I'm going to right click on the parameter and click show parameter. And now I see that I have a drop down button of profit versus sales, right? And nothing is happening to my bar chart because this parameter is not tied to a calculation. So as of right now, Tableau doesn't know when it should utilize profit versus sales because I have not created a calculated field for it. And that is something that we went over in the prior video. So let's click this black arrow down and click create calculated field. And I'm going to call this profit versus sales measure. And I'm going to do a case when statement. And so when I type case, you see a nice little description of this expression pops up on the right. If you don't see this, just hit this arrow so it can expand. And it's going to have some expression. And when this expression is a certain value, it's going to return one thing, else it's going to return another. So I'm going to call on that parameter that I just made, which is profit versus sales. Parameters come up in purple, so I know I'm calling the same thing. And I'm going to say when profit, and it's a string because that's what our parameter is, then I wanted to return, let me back up some, profit, else I wanted to return sales. And then I'm going to end this expression. So I'm saying, hey, when I change my parameter to profit, then show me the profit measure that's in my data set. Else, show me the sales measure, since I only am switching between two different measures here. Make sure profit is the same case, it has no spaces, etc. So if I have spelled profit, capital P-R-O-F-I-T, gave me my little error there because I copied and pasted something. If I spelled profit P-R-O-F-I-T in my parameter, then I want to spell it exactly that same way here, or else it's going to throw an error or not work. So I'm going to click OK. And now I see my calculated measure show up on the left-hand side of my data frame. I know it's a calculated measure because it has this equal sign. So now I'm going to drag off sum of profit, and I'm going to drag on that measure that I just created. So now in my parameter, if I switch from profit to sales, it's going to update my view accordingly. I definitely can right-click this arrow down and choose a single value list so that it's actually radio buttons that I can utilize in my dashboard. May look a little bit nicer. Another benefit of this parameter is that I can dynamically update my sheet name. So say, for instance, I want to call this region versus whatever I'm showing on the screen. So I'm just going to insert that measure, right, which is profit versus sales. And so now when profit is pushed, I'm going to have region versus profit. And when I hit sales, I'm going to have region versus sales. Okay. I definitely can hide this field labels because I don't need region up there because it's down here. I can definitely change the color of my bars. Of course, I can change my tooltip, a whole bunch of things that I can change to make this look more aesthetically pleasing. But this is just how we utilize a parameter if we want to switch the visual between more than one measure or dimension. I hope this proved helpful for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Data Science Jellyfish, and I look forward to teaching you our next tutorial. Thanks. Bye-bye.